What's up, buddies? So today I've been working on getting my C6 drift Corvette back together. A little background story. The output shaft exploded, and when it exploded, it actually blew out the side of the diff as well, so it damaged the transmission, the output shaft, everything. I rebuilt the transmission with a lot better components, and when I had it apart, I saw that it had a couple gears that were missing teeth, so I replaced those as well, along with some healthy upgrades. And then I got a RPM stage 2 differential and had that spooled, and basically I'm just in the process of putting it back together. So I'm heading back to the shop. I just got some lunch. I'm heading back to the shop to finish putting it back together and hopefully get it started today. I'm waiting on some wheels and tires for it to take it out again, and then maybe start troubleshooting and see if there's any other issues. So yeah, let's go to the shop and check it out. Alrighty, so we made it back to the shop. Let's go take a look at this Corvette project. The good old hatchback running strong. I'm actually going to be pulling the motor out of this car pretty soon. I've tried to break it several times and it just won't break. It's a stock long block. For all the Subi naysayers, it runs great and it's going to keep running great. So yeah, let's check out the Corvette. Alright, so here she is, all torn apart. As I said, here's the subframe out. I just finished getting the transmission back in there. And like I was saying, I did do some upgrades to the transmission. So I got bronze shift forks, a new OEM third gear, second gear, and reverse gear for some reason was all messed up, so I replaced that. New synchros with bronze synchro rings, I think maybe just in reverse. Billet, synchro keys, and I think that's about it for the trans. Oh, I got the upgraded output shaft so it doesn't explode again. And then the diff, like I said, is an RPM diff with a spool, and it's got 300M axle stubs, so hopefully those never break again either. So yeah, I've got to get the diff in, get the subframe in, and then start it up and see what will happen. Differential, I didn't really clean the case very well, but I might before putting it back in. I cleaned the center case because this is replaced. I got a used one. Alrighty, so I was able to get the rear diff and subframe back in, and the car's basically done. Unfortunately though, I forgot to pick up trans fluid and diff fluid, so this is kind of just where I'm going to call it until tomorrow. It's too late. But yeah, check it out. So this car is really, well, I guess Corvettes in general are really easy to work with. So I was pretty happy about that. Basically, to remove the subframe and put it back in, it's like these two bolts here for the control arm, one on each side. Remove the two strut bolts, and then there's two big bolts here, and there's the other one right there. And it just goes, right up in there. I still got to put the calipers back on, but I'm probably gonna replace the pads and rotors while I have it apart. There's the diff axles set up. Man, it's kind of dark. I'll show you tomorrow when there's a little bit better light and when I have a chance to hopefully start it up. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. Yo, what's up guys? It has literally been a month since I was working on the Corvette, and I had to get a bunch of stuff and COVID happened and blah blah blah, whatever, excuses. So I had to buy a MIG welder, and it was like a special order thing. I decided to go with Harbor Freight's titanium. It's like their top of the line 240 MIG welder. So I bought the MIG welder, and the reason I needed to do that was to fix the exhaust that someone rigged together on the back of the car, because I didn't want to have it straight piped. It was just really obnoxious, so I had to chop it up and put it in where the X pipe was. So I have one more section to do, right where it connects to the tips. I don't know if you can see that. It's like cut in half right there. Oop. But yeah. So I have to do that section, and then it's good to go. A couple more things. I did get some wheels for it. I'm going to change the oil now, and I did get a new shift assembly. So I got a Grand Sport shift assembly with basically the complete assembly. It's super tight. It was like a 10,000 mile car or something. And then I'm going to throw this Sparco steering wheel in. So yeah, Jesus. The reason I'm doing all this is there's a drift event on Saturday, and I really want to take the car out. For one, I haven't been able to do anything because of COVID, and for two, since I got this car, I haven't really driven it or drifted it or anything, so it should be fun. I did burn the heck out of myself using the MIG welder for the first time. Definitely recommend a MIG welding jacket and gloves. I also burnt my foot because I was wearing not OSHA approved sandals, so I threw some shoes on. But yeah, I'm gonna do all that stuff and start the car and hopefully drive it in a couple minutes. Alright, so I have the oil draining. It looks disgusting. It's probably like 20,000 mile, 10-year-old oil or something, I don't know. So yeah, it'll be good to get some fresh fluids. And I already changed the transmission and differential fluid before or after I put the new transmission and differential in. I'll probably do it again with something more heavy duty, just because I am going to beat the crap out of it. But yeah, so here's the oil draining. It's disgusting. Maybe I'll show you it when it's done. Wheels are on the car. Needs coilovers so bad. There's a huge wheel gap. It is disgusting. I kind of hate it, but I do like the way the wheels look. I got a 235, I think, in the rear. 235 or 225. 225 in the rear on the Corvette. So it looks pretty comical. It's got like Prius tire in the back. Alright, so I did finish the Corvette last night. But I lost the keys.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
And basically took me 3 hours to find the keys, searched everywhere. Finally, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check the trash can. And I threw them away. I threw the key away. So I found it, but it took a long time. So yeah, here it is on the ground for the first time in a while. The rear is pretty high. So I found out that Corvettes have a secret lowering bolt on the leaf spring in the rear, so I'm gonna try and adjust that and, you know, make it a little lower and not as ugly. So yeah, let's check it out. I'm gonna turn it on. I mean, LS's just sounds super good. I'm pretty stoked with the sound. So I just finished with the adjustment bolt, and apparently I raised the car up. So that's the car on the ground with the adjustment bolt maxed out, and it's just like ridiculous. So I'm gonna try again and see what happens. But yeah, that's not gonna work. Alright, so I washed the car. I took it to the car wash without the T-top on accident and got the interior all wet. I mean, it's been sitting for quite a while, so it needed a wash real bad. And then on the way home, I got caught in a rainstorm, and that got the interior even more wet. So I put the T-top back on for the time being, and yeah, I mean, I just cannot say enough good things. The Corvette is one of the best cars I've ever driven, ever. It's just so rowdy and obnoxious and playful. Besides the LS and the transmission, I guess, and the chassis, I don't really like a lot of the GM stuff on it. Like, all the plastic stuff is garbage. I just pulled these visors off because they're just kind of like crumbling apart, you know. So that's pretty common America activity with a car. So, you know, we're just gonna throw these in the old trash can. But yeah. So other than that, the car's awesome. I kind of want to tube it, do something like Leroy, but drift car version. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to take it to the event on Saturday and do some skirts with it. I might go out now and just kind of test the setup and see if there's any changes I could make. So yeah, overall super thrilled with the car. Happy to have it running again, and hopefully we'll put out some good content with it. See y'all later.